Yu He, and in the next couple of minutes I'm going to show you around the new spring reverb that we are about to release in the next couple of weeks. And users who are already familiar with the spring reverb in Brazil might already discover a couple of familiar features and items. First of all, this UI is not the final one. This is a developer UI. We haven't finished the plugin yet, and therefore we just have a kind of boring grayish UI where even a couple of knobs aren't labeled in the way they actually should be labeled. Okay, that aside, we enriched the original spring reverb that we have in Brazil with actually 3 spring types, and the type 4 spring is 2 springs in a big tank which we modeled. The type 8 is 2 springs in a much smaller spring tank, which sounds more mid-rangey and a bit more lo-fi. And the type 9 is actually 3 springs derived from the type 4 design, which have a more denser reverb spectrum.
Are these modeled after a famous spring reverb, or do you take a new approach of it? Or
that's why we put the type names behind it, because people who play guitar can already refer to what it could be, and they sound very alike to spring reverbs that you have in your guitar combo, like the big ones on the Fender, the smaller ones in the Marshall amps, or in old organs from the 60s or 70s. So what it's all about, it's when I'm currently setting this to all dry, kind of percussion sound from Zebra, and then we add a bit of spring reverb, which is the typical type 4 thing, and then you can already hear what the spring is famous for the splashy sound. So when you have and now we add a bit of stereo width, and now one spring goes to the left and the other one goes to the right, and then you can already hear why a spring reverb is so famous for its particular sound. 3 springs spans it a bit across also the stereo spectrum, and then one in the middle, and the type 8 sounds a bit different, more lo-fi-ish. So this is the basic approach. Choose your type of spring, dial in a bit of tonal behavior, dial in a bit of tone control, whatever you desire. And then comes the fun part. So we have a long decay. What we can do with the decay is take the LFO, and now we have the filter on the reverb tail. We can also say these buttons are actually wired the wrong way. What we have now is the filter in the post setting. And when we set it to pre, which is labeled post here accidentally, then we have the filter before the spring. And this way it's right after the spring, unfortunately. And we have so we have the filter. We can route the LFO also to the amplifier. We can also have an external signal used as a side chain, which goes into the plugin, and it triggers an envelope generator and we currently don't have something attached externally. We're using the internal right now. We can say, okay, we take the internal signal and route it to the amplitude. So we have like gated reverb. We can also route it to the filter. Like a typical filter envelope in a synth. And what makes it kind of interesting is users with Brazil already know the shake knob, or you can actually shake the spring tank. And we can say, okay, it's kind of crazy. But also, if you choose a more mellow waveform like the sine wave, you can add some low frequency rumbling or shaking of the spring, and you can already say, okay, we can use the envelope to shake the spring additionally, and that makes it very interesting using the external sidechain, because you can take any additional input shaking the springs remotely. So the possibilities are vast, endless. Create stuff that goes on forever for itself.
And you manage it to make it CPU-wise good or acceptable from
I'm not familiar with Live's CPU.
the top right.
On the top right, yeah. That is inclusive with Zebra. Let's just take it out. So we're at 5%. On an old,
So it's fine. It's better than the SYNTH or better.
on my Windows PC with an old i5 from 2012, it takes about 4% actually.
Okay.
So it's not that much.
That's fine for 2018.
I guess so. Yeah.
When we can expect it from you?
It depends. As I said, we need to finalize the UI. And what also comes into it is we want to have a modulation matrix where we can route any signal to any output within the plugin, and to do even more wacky stuff. And so we have to decide on the UI interface, on the labeling of things, on the color, on the actual feature set. But if you haven't discovered it, it doesn't have a name yet. So we need to find a name for this thing. We don't want to call it just like Spring Reverb or Spring Rev or S1 or whatever. We want to have something very catchy, and we need to find out a catchy name for it.
So you expect it for 2018?
Yeah, definitely. We're in May right now, so within the next couple of weeks we will hopefully get to finalize it.
Maybe the users who watch this video should maybe write in the comments in the YouTube a catchy name for it.
Yeah, if someone comes with something that is so really great for this, on just spot on. If it's spot on, if it doesn't imply something very different, if it doesn't sound boring, then please put something in the comments.
Price? Any idea already?
We don't know yet. It won't cost an arm and a leg, so as usual, priced reasonably. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you.